Hey, I'm Johnny Ference here with Singular Agronomics, excited to bring to you a series more on carbon to nitrogen ratio. We talk about humic acids with fertilizer applications. Hey, we're here wrapping up this series. We're going to dive in more with carbon to nitrogen ratio, but then also inputs or practices that we can do and start looking at some of the influences of the carbon to nitrogen ratio with those practices. So the first thing I think about, just a brief review, the number I really like is that 15:1 to 12:1 carbon to nitrogen ratio. So the moments we get below there, you may be asking yourself, how can we get better? The first thing I think about is we talk about humic acids with fertilizer applications, because you're going to be adding carbon to that fertilizer, which is going to help balance that ratio. But also, okay, cover crops, definitely fibrous root cover crops is another situation when they put their root exudates out, and then also after they break down into the soil, I mean, the carbon to nitrogen ratio of a ryegrass fully matured is like 60:1 or even higher at times. So that's where we can bring that ratio up, is utilizing fibrous root cover crops to help that system put more carbon to start cycling. Other inputs that I think about that influence the carbon to nitrogen ratio is compost or ruminant composted manure. You got to look or test that manure when you get it to see where that carbon to nitrogen ratio is at. So if you get true composted manure, you're going to get something 25:1, 30:1, which is phenomenal and great for your soil. But if you get something that's more raw or hasn't been sitting around decomposing as much, I mean, you could get some manures out there that could be as 8:1 to a 10:1, and it's not helping us towards our goal. Now, are we getting nutrients there? 100%. But with the lack of carbon, we can actually create more of a shock into the system. So that's why I really like carbon or composted ruminant manure, because that carbon to nitrogen ratio starts getting more to that 25:1, which makes it a great additional benefit to our crops. With that being said too, we gotta talk about legumes. Okay, legume crops, when they break down, or anything with a lot of leaves, okay? A lot of leaf surface, broad leaves, they're gonna have a much lower carbon to nitrogen ratio. So as they break down, they're going to cycle a lot quicker. Okay, so those nutrients are back into the soil, but also there could be a point of a lack of a food system for those microbes to feed on because of how fast it breaks down. These last 4 videos, we talked about the carbon to nitrogen ratio, and when it's too high, too low, and some things that we can do to implement to make our farm cycle a lot better. So with that, thank you for joining us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our list of videos, and we'd love to see you again.
Guys, thanks for watching the content so far. We've got a whole lot more on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe there. We put a ton of content on there that's useful and applicable information to help on your farms and day-to-day life. So go ahead, hop over there. If you want more information, check us out there.